Cambodia is located in the continent of Asia and has a total area of 181,035 kilometers, making it the 90th largest nation in the world. It became an independent state in 1953 after gaining its sovereignty from France. The people of Cambodia are referred to as Khmer or Cambodians, and the currency is real. The country's official religion is Buddhism, which is followed by approximately 97% of the population. Cambodia's main industries include agriculture and tourism, elephant rides, great beaches, numerous museums, and villages full of rich history. One of the major temples is Angkor Wat, located just outside of Siem Reap. There, elephants tourists can ride around the temple. Another famous temple is Angkor Thom Prom, which can be seen in the film Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. In the capital, Phnom Penh, visitors can view the Royal Palace and Silver Pagoda. The Silver Pagoda has a floor with over 5,000 silver tiles. Just outside of Phnom Penh are the Killing Fields, where mass graves were discovered from the period of Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge.
The Khmer language dates back to 200 BC, and over 16 million people throughout Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand speak the language. Khmer is influenced by both Hinduism and Buddhism, as well as Sanskrit and Pali. Khmer differs from other languages because the stress falls on the final syllable of the word. It was definitely not easy learning Khmer, but understanding the small phrases was enough during our time there. Cambodian people are so kind, and they seem genuinely happy people from other cultures took interest in learning their language. A huge part of the Cambodian culture is the Sampia, a gesture you make with your hands like this that shows respect and helps you connect with fellow Cambodians. There are 5 levels of hand placement. Hands raised the highest for a person you want to show the most respect to. So now I'm going to teach you a few of the important phrases that we used the most while we were in Cambodia. So, hello is Chumrip Sua. How are you is Sok Sabai Day. What is your name? Chamua Awe. And my name is Kinyom Chamua Katherine. Thank you is Algun. Yes is Ja. We used yes, Ja a lot. No is Ate. So if you're walking throughout if you're walking where the vendors are and you don't want to buy something, we would just say Ate, Ate. Some more medical terminology. What is your illness is Chu Awe. So you would ask Chu Awe, and they would kind of point to exactly where they were hurting.
Cambodia's history is both rich and dark. In 1975, after America withdrew military support against North Vietnam, the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, overthrew the government and forced all of the people out of the cities and into the countryside to become agricultural workers. Pol Pot declared this the Year Zero and attempted to purify Cambodia by removing social class, Western influence, religion, foreigners, and the educational system. Those Pol Pot believed to be the root of all communist evil either died during the initial surge, died from starvation or illness, or brought to prison camps where they were tortured and subsequently killed. Nearly 1/5 of the population, 1.7 million Cambodians, were killed over this 4-year period. Nearly 14,000 prisoners were brought to one of the largest camps called S-21. After torturing the prisoners and no more information could be obtained, they were brought to the killing fields where they were killed and buried in mass graves. According to Pol Pot, to keep you is no benefit, but to destroy you is no loss. At the end of the 4-year period, only 7 people survived this camp. On December 25, 1978, Vietnam invaded Cambodia and took control of Cambodia in less than 2 weeks. Pol Pot was never put to trial for these killings. In fact, only 5 people were ever put to justice for the genocide.
Of the 1,508 patients we saw in Cambodia, 34% complained of musculoskeletal problems, 28% GI, and an additional 14% complained of neurological symptoms. Upon treating the patients for GI disorders, we recommended Pepcid, which we prescribed and gave through the pharmacy, advised against eating acidic and spicy foods, advised the patients to sit up for at least 30 minutes after meals, and also tried to teach the patients how to eliminate sources of stress and anxiety. Much of what Lyndsey and Savannah and my predecessors have talked about speaks to the influences of the Khmer Rouge on both the physical aspects of the patient's life, but also the psychological and social aspects of the patient's life. In his book about Cambodia, Joel Brinkley talks about second-generation PTSD being something that a lot of the people in Cambodia suffer from. So not only have we tried to put our patients with social services who were directly affected by the Khmer Rouge, but also talking about ways to eliminate sources of stress and anxiety and potentially talk through some of the ramifications of what went on in their households for those who are second generation who may not have directly been affected by the Khmer Rouge. For musculoskeletal complaints, we advised that for the people who are farming that they should take breaks during farming, that they develop a regular stretching regimen, and we prescribed Advil and Tylenol. We identified the source. A lot of people have physiological problems related to carrying heavy baggages during the times in which they were evacuating their homes. And in addition to that, we're then continued to do hard manual labor for the rest of their lives. So there's a lot of just wear and tear and need for rest for these patients. Patients who suffer from neurological symptoms, we advise to drink water, to take Advil and Tylenol. We prescribe sunglasses, eyeglasses, and eye drops. In addition to just headaches, we had a lot of patients who complained of blurry vision, which oftentimes was due to the fact that they did not have glasses that accurately or glasses that worked for them. Additionally, however, based on lifestyles where there's not a lot of eye protection, they drive on motorcycles on dirt roads, and a lot of people farm for their livelihood. Patients, especially the elderly patients, had developed what is called pterygium, and they had started having scar tissue form from the inner canthus to the outer canthus on their eyes due to the damage from the sun and also the debris flying up into their eyes. So our main recommendation for the trips in the future is that we have more eye drops, better ways to assess people for vision, and also additionally that they bring more sunglasses and really talk to the patients about taking proper care of their eyes, because if the pterygium is allowed to continue, it can cause scarring that goes over the cornea, over the pupil, and it can cause blindness.
Hi, my name is Jabria Stinson, and I was afforded the opportunity to serve on the Mercer Mission Cambodia team last summer, and I had the absolute time of my life. Just as Natalie said, we were able to introduce many interventions, both non-pharmacological and pharmacological, to help the Khmer in our clinics. With your team on board, translators ready, all your medications and items packed, you are ready to ship out to the rural areas of Cambodia to serve the Khmer. Clinic is very unique in each setting, but typically flows from admission and intake, to vital signs, to a waiting area to be served and assessed, over to the pharmacy for education and prescription administration. Each member, no matter your health program, will play a role on at least one day in clinic in each setting, from intake, admission, assessment, and pharmacy. They may or may not have a special surprise for you nurses, but who would I be to ruin that for you? So just be on the lookout. At admission, each member is paired with a Khmer translator. These people will immediately become your lifeline in clinic and lifelong friends henceforth. But don't let them do all of the talking. You will be prepared during your time in Macon to learn some ways to address the Khmer based on age and in respect of their culture. Be comfortable with it and ask them questions if you're not sure. Even with so many different programs represented, each one of you is a leader in your own right. So be prepared to put your interpersonal skills to the test and try not to be overwhelmed by the feelings of a communication barrier. You have so many resources at hand. Use them accordingly. Remember to love on the patients. Don't just push them through the line. Sometimes it can be overwhelming with the sheer number of patients that we have, but each patient is important. Remember that. It's okay to cry with your patients. You don't want to overlook anything. And sometimes it's not a physical symptom. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. So consider all of that when interacting with them, just as you do your patients in the hospital in the States. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to do karaoke at midnight with your translators. Don't be afraid to jump off the side of a boat into a river. Try new things, adventure. You're in Cambodia. Have the time of your life.
Let it burn, let it burn. Certain things you ain't supposed to. There's somebody here that wants you, cause the feeling ain't the same. Find myself calling her your name. You understand, and I'ma let it feel my pain. It's the way I feel. I know I made a mistake, now it's too late. And I ain't coming back. What I gotta do now to get my shawty back? Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what I gotta do without my boo. She's been gone for too long. It's been 11 days, 14 hours. I'll be burning till you return.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care to use it, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor falls and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah.